Us. Discipline. One of the hardest things in the world for people to achieve is discipline. I know it was for me years and years ago as I started looking into how to better myself. There came a time where I said, I want to be a dedicated martial artist. Not just, I don't want to just go to class. I don't want to just, but I want to be a martial artist. And one of my instructors said, then you're going to have to be a whole lot more disciplined than you are now. And that really registered with me. And I started looking at my life and I see, I'm very, very undisciplined as far as doing the things I need to do to be the best I can be. And that was something that I started trying to change. And I'm not going to ever say I've mastered it. We can always use more discipline in our life. However, there are things in my life that I just get done. Whether I want to do it or I don't want to do it, it's just something that I go, well, it's time to go for that walk, that daily walk, and here we go. And I get up and I put my shoes on and I do my hour walk, or I say, okay, today is bag work day, and I'll come in and I do my 30 minutes or an hour, depending on what day it is, depending, how much time I have to, but I make sure that whatever it is, I get it done. Time to throw knives, time to do nunchucks, time to teach class. Sometimes just your work alone requires discipline. Getting up every morning, I tell in my kids class, I say this a lot. What does it mean to be tough? And of course, you can punch really hard, or you could take a punch, or you could take a kick. Well, yeah, that's part of being tough. But I'll tell you what is tough. Tough means getting up every day and going to school, getting up every day and going to the same job, getting up every day and doing the same routine. How do you do that? Discipline. Discipline makes me get up at 6 in the morning. It makes me set my clock. And when that 6 o'clock rolls around, I want to hit that snooze button. And sometimes I do for a few minutes, but it requires discipline to just simply take the covers off of you and step out of bed and go back to a routine that you've been doing sometimes for many, many years. So discipline needs to be in our life, and discipline needs to be the biggest part of our life. I need to discipline myself to go to work. I need to discipline myself to go to class. I need to discipline myself in whatever. If I want to be a great chess player, then I have to discipline myself to practice the game of chess. And so again, whatever you are doing, you need to say, how do I put discipline in my life? And so sometimes we'll get home from work, you've had a stressful day, whatever the case may be, and you go, I don't feel like going to the gym. Well, the biggest part of going to the gym is getting to the gym. The biggest part of practicing with a weapon is picking it up and either going to the shooting range or going out in the yard or wherever you practice and train at. If you're going to practice, I have people all the time go, oh man, I'd love to be better at knife throwing. Then take that moment and discipline yourself. You may say, okay, I'm going to discipline myself for 15 minutes a week. Okay, just 15 minutes a week. Then you need to take figure out where that 15 minutes is, and make that your knife throwing time. Make that your nunchuck time. Make that your devotion time. Maybe you're saying, hey, I want to pray more. I don't know. I'm just using that as well. Then you need to discipline yourself to do that. You need to discipline. I want to meditate. Okay, then you're going to have to discipline yourself. It's very difficult. I meditate, and it's very difficult sometimes for me to take that 20 minutes and say, okay, I'm going to take 20 minutes and meditate. It's not an hour. It's not 4 hours. But to take that devotion time and say, I'm going to take this time and be alone and bring myself back to focus. So anything you do requires that's worthy of anything. It really does require an active discipline in your life. And so you're going to have to take that time. And you're going to have to make some sacrifices. You're going to have to, you may have to sacrifice your 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock program that you like so much, or DVR it, or whatever you call that stuff. And instead of getting on the couch with a bag of chips, discipline yourself to make that your walk time, your gym time, your devotion time, whatever you're trying to achieve. If you want to be better, and I'm just going to use something simple, but if you want to be better at working nunchucks, then you're going to have to devote yourself to learning how to really do that. There's nobody that's a master at a craft or an art that hasn't put extreme discipline and time into doing that. If you want to be a great kicker, have great balance, you're going to have to take some time and discipline yourself to do that. If you want to be a mechanic, you're going to have to devote yourself and discipline yourself to understand what mechanics do. And, it's something that you're going to have to really break that down and say, okay, I'm going to have to devote some time to learning this. And we live in a world today that if it's too much work, I don't know that I really want to do it. There's a lot of people that talk a big game, and I want to do that, and I want to do this. And then when it really comes down to it, I was talking to a guy a couple of weeks ago, and he was saying, oh man, I'd love to learn how to break bricks, or, and I said, well, I can teach you that. And he was supposed to meet me, and he just never showed up. He was calling me, oh, I had something else to do. And this is what I'm talking about. You really don't want to learn how to break bricks then. You just want to talk, and you say, oh yeah, I've done this or I've done that. But in order to be a master at a craft or an art, you're going to have to devote some crazy time to that, whatever you're trying to achieve. When you hear of people say, oh, he's a master at this. Well, that doesn't mean whenever we think about masters at something, we automatically go back to like Kung Fu theater or something, or something like that. But no, a master at a craft means I've done this for many years and I've mastered this particular art or craft. I was watching some carpenters a few weeks ago that were at our house and doing some work, and I was just amazed at how they could cut a board so clean. You ever seen me cut a board? But how obviously this guy has mastered cutting boards. That's, but the angle that he was cutting them at and different things, and then how he put them together and work his master craft. And so it's obviously that this person has taken a lot of time to understand and master this particular thing. So if you want to lose weight, you're going to have to discipline yourself to eat better, and you're also going to have to discipline yourself to move. You're going to have to discipline yourself to go for that walk you don't want, that jog you don't want to go, get on that bike you don't want to get on, whatever the case may be. So I'm not going to stick on this for a long time, but find the discipline in yourself. Or if you can't develop, there's a lot of times too that it's difficult to find your own discipline. So get involved in a group. Get involved in a weight loss program. Get involved in a martial arts academy. Get involved, depending on whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. Get involved with a group that's going to motivate you and push you and pull you to your greatness. Us.